And we back, y'all, and it is Friday night. Now, before we start this show, I need to handle a little business, okay? I need to let you all know that sometimes on this show, we say shit, okay?
We say shit.
I don't want nobody to get offended, take it any sort of way. Everybody has an opinion, and even you have an opinion. Never do we want to offend or belittle anyone. That is never our intent. We just have opinions and we just talking about it. That being said, I love all of y'all. Hope that y'all still support. We're just gonna talk about something. It's Friday night. And that's exactly what we gonna do. Y'all ready, ladies?
All ready.
All right. So what we gonna do? Also, you know what? Something that's been very interesting. Before I start off, I do want to say this, and we can all have a discussion on it. We can just, just talk about it really quickly. There has been a lot of talk about Kobe Bryant and the Gayle King interview with Lisa Leslie. I don't know what anybody's take on it is, but I will say this. The one thing that I am learning is that you can say something innocent, and people will take that and they will change it and they will twist it and make it mean something totally different than the way that you meant it. But the one thing that I know is if you don't say anything, then no one can use it against you. So be mindful of what you say, how you say it, and who you say it to. Sometimes it is better to just be quiet on certain subjects. I don't know.
I think that's what makes it different is this is an ongoing issue. And it's been an issue in the community where it seems like, and my thing is rape, pedophilia, all of that. If I was the queen of the land, off with their heads. You know what I mean? But it seems that Kobe was acquitted. It didn't go any further than that. I think that, right on the heels of his passing, it wasn't the right time. It couldn't be considered innocent because she's in a position in her life where she knows the power of the tongue and she knows the position that she holds. So she definitely was aware of what she was doing. And it does seem like there are a lot more black men being held under the microscope than all of the other men. And it makes it extremely difficult when you're hugged up on couches and doing the nightlife thing with these other men, but you're not calling them to the mat. So I think that's the biggest thing for the community. It's that, let's hold everybody accountable, but you know what you're doing, sis. And you have a different, outlet, especially when we're all walking into this space of awareness and we all are becoming a little bit more conscious and seeing things and realizing, damn, it's different for, we knew it was different for us, but it's it's blatant. Are you serious? So for you to come out and take a moment like this for a brother that, when it was Bill Cosby, when it was R. Kelly, motherfuckers had jokes. It was up for grabs. But this was somebody who people really respected, and you really couldn't, find nothing like that on bro. So for you to take this opportunity to do that, come on, sis, you don't bullshit.
Well, timing is everything, and I think her being the journalist that she is, I'm quite sure she went over whatever questions she had before she even sat down with Lisa Leslie.
Yes, ma'am.
So she should have thought to herself, okay, the grieving process is still fresh. So how, what's the word I'm looking for? How mindful will I be to bring up or rehash something that's already a subject that's been dealt with, moved forward, past, and it's like notoriety for her is something that she's looking for. When a person is basically eating off somebody else's coattail.
When you tired of being Oprah's girlfriend.
So now you gotta get out of that shadow. You try to make your name.
I wouldn't mind being Oprah girlfriend though now.
But now
it
has pros and cons.
It does. Well, I'm all about the pros at this moment. I'm all about the pros.
You Dave Chappelle on the couch.
Well, you're doggone right, because then I wouldn't have to report to work on Monday. Okay. But that was just a little bit. I did want to touch on that, you know what I'm saying? Just to bring it up and just so that, you know what I'm saying, we could just shed a little bit of light on it, and just make sure that everybody is being mindful of what you say and what you do. Especially, in this day and age when we do need to unify, we all need to support each other. And that is, in that interview, she just did not support it. And that is that. It's my opinion. Yeah. And so now, here we go. Here we go.
All right.
Let's go.
What she looking at?
She's like,
I didn't put nothing in the box.
Okay.
introduce the person you're dating to your children. You don't.
Ever?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm not saying ever.
I mean,
No.
ever.
I have to go first. Okay, great. I think that you introduce. I guess maybe like after date 3. I think by the time you go on 3 dates with somebody, you know, look, you kind of got a feel for the character, what type of person they are. I wouldn't say like formal be like we going on a play date, like we gonna go out with the kids, but I think that it's okay to do this is such and such, this is such and such. I mean, 3 for me, 3 days.
I don't have an amount of dates. I just say that I mean, of course, I'm not in this situation, so this is me being blind. Just like, but I do think that you need to see how they interact with your children and how your children interact with them. Because I do believe that, you know, the way that their relationship is will definitely affect your relationship, especially if that person doesn't have any children. You don't know how they feel about kids. You don't know how they're going to act with kids, because a person who doesn't have kids is not used to considering children. And everything that we do, we have to consider kids. You know, so
Absolutely
we act
everything
with
we
it. But, you know, are they going to make sure that they consider your kids? You know, are they going to make decisions? You know, you want to see what type of decisions people be making.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to further that, because I do believe at our age, we're trying to get somewhere. You're not trying to just date just to date. There's dating with a purpose. So you got to know something about this person. And I'm not saying do it day 1, because, you know, you don't know if you like them. But I think once it gets to the point where you could see yourself liking them, then you probably want to see if you and your kids can like them too.
I kind of feel like I gotta already like you. I'm so skeptical of the world, and you know, watching news and different things, and you have some people that play on mothers, and you know our need meaning women and men to be connected to someone, and they don't mean your children any harm, and they can play a game. I think that I would be most comfortable after we've had that conversation, you know, that possibly he initiates, where he says, listen, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. I see how you are with your children. I know how you feel about them, you know, and before you even had that conversation with me, you've asked me, how did the kids do today in school? You know what I'm saying? You're listening to me talk about them. You kind of know a little bit about them, you know, and then after I understand that, like, you not just fucking around with me, you understand that it's a package deal, not that I'm fucking with your mama. Right. Go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're you're showing interest and you've had this conversation with me, then I'm a little bit more comfortable I just don't trust easily. So for somebody like me, I'm like, I kind of like really need to know at this point in my life, like, where's your head at? Because it's easy for me to cut it off, and my children have never had to see your ass.
I think with the second date, with the whole conversation in general, questions should be asked. Do you have kids? Blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And if that person says, no, I don't have children, and you start talking about your children, facial expression, body language will tell you a lot. So if what you're talking about, you could tell that I've zoned out automatically. So if I'm zoning out when you're talking about your prized possessions, then we have no further conversation. So there is no need for you to be bothered with something that you really don't want to be bothered with, just because they're mine. Don't humor me. Don't humor me.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they trying to get to the prize.
Put that on the shirt. Hashtag don't humor me.
They trying to get to the
grown
prize,
ass
though.
woman.
They gonna say what they gotta say to get to the.
And that's a whole nother, before you pull out the box, stop playing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We grown. What Bernie Mac say in the show, I like it too. Let's have a conversation, bro. Maybe I wasn't looking for you to be my husband.
Okay, so
you know?
if he came at you and he just said, you know what, I think you're cute, and I ain't really trying to be there for you and your kids, but this is what I'm looking for.
Well, he couldn't say no shit like that in that manner.
Okay, well,
but if he would have said,
if
he would have said, listen, you know, right now I'm dating, you know, and I'm not in a place right now where I'm looking to settle down, but I'm feeling you, I'm interested, and I like to get to know you. Let's hang out, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I understand you got kids, and I know that, you know, that's it, but before we get into that space, man, what's up? Let's hang out. Okay, nigga, I hang out with you. But if y'all love kids, I'll fuck around and cut your throat while you sleep.
She crazy.
Some people start out wanting a one night stand, but it just lingers in some months. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Let me make my decision. Don't choose for me, bro. Tell me who you are, and let me make my decision. That's it.
Yes.
And sis,
I like that. Let me make my decision. No. Your turn.
Come on. Okay.
There you go.
What would you do if your mate wouldn't post or doesn't post you on social media? Depends on what stage of the relationship I'm in. Because I don't post either. I'm really private. Like, I don't like people in my business. I want to see where it goes. Also for the fact that if it do blow up, I ain't trying to be, 3 months down the line, it's like single again. Like, let me what we doing on Valentine's. Okay. Let me deal with my personal life, and then when they get there, then at that point, nigga, what's the problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't let folk know what you hiding.
That's true. I think it depends what type of mate you have and what type of things they do post. Because if you have a mate that doesn't post they don't post their kids, they don't post their mother, then you can't take it personal if they don't post you either.
I respect that.
But if it's somebody that doesn't post, now you post your mother, your brother, you post your cousin, you post the dog, you post everybody to me. It's the problem.
Rough on Facebook.
It's definitely gonna be a problem. So I think that plays a role too.
Yeah. Now that was definitely a personal question. Now I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about me. Okay. This some real time talk. So we had some issues, okay? We had some issues. So I couldn't damn wait till we got married and I tagged his ass real quick. And I did that for a reason, because there were people, some things, that was kind of in the way, I'd say, of us. So I needed for everybody to know, I am Miss Berry. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't wait. Now that was for me. That was something that helped me, and I wish he had not have accepted my tag. Oh no, we're gonna be on there, and he don't post nothing. He don't post nobody, He don't, and y'all know if y'all his friends, he don't post nothing. But that
every once in a while, you be like, gee, what's on Facebook?
But I'm gonna tag him and everything, and I'm gonna make sure that it says married to Tanya Berry. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
He knew when the job was dangerous when he took it.
Basically. So, for me, I agree with you. Yeah. Definitely. If they don't post anything and he doesn't.
But if they don't post, you post it for him and tag him.
And that is exactly what I do. Hey. Family pics coming up next.
Right.
Baby bump.
Yes. Oh, baby, I was on it. Yes, ma'am.
At his mama's house.
Because, I post her too. Mother-in-law, hey.
I love black women. I really do.
Oh, that's the truth about me. Listen, because I do have some insecurities. I will tell you that now.
Yeah.
And a lot of those things led to some insecurities within our relationship. So in order to make me feel secure, I'm going to need you to accept this tag and any other tag.
That was what you needed. Yeah.
And what I still need today.
She's going to post up 10 pictures.
You're doggone right. And I be at his ass.
Right now, he like.
Basically.
Okay, this one says, after sex, cuddle, talk, or roll over.
Damn, that was kind of sex.
Okay. I would love to cuddle. I would love to talk, but I just send me to roll over. Night.
So you always rolling over? You don't ever talk afterwards?
For what?
What if you want to talk about how y'all did give each other a high five? Like, you put your back into it tonight. No high fives? No.
The snoring will let him know.
Yeah, pretty much.
That his back.
So you ain't never talking? You ain't never cuddling? You ain't never talking?
No. Well, depends on what the energy was. Because if I'm like, okay, we taking a break, and we might come back to that because there was some other shit I ain't get finished doing, then we might talk for a couple of seconds. But I'm fine with the, ooh, that was good. Now we finna lay together. And then sometimes it's like, it's hot. Get off me. I'm not getting the towel. You not getting it. You go get the towel and a glass of Kool-Aid. And I'm finna lay here right and bask in this energy.
Not a glass of Kool-Aid.
It just with a lot of ice. It just depends. It just depends on what kind of sex it was and what the day was. This might be I just need to release some stress sex. So now I don't want to talk. I just needed that. You know, sometimes it was because we had a good day and we, you know, I don't want it to end. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit. It depends.
I definitely done been snoring before he came back with the towel.
I
definitely have been snoring. He like, damn, you sleep already? Yeah, motherfucker, right. Good
Shout
God.
out to bro.
See you tomorrow.
Fist up
in the
for
morning.
bro.
That was a little party, but it's okay. Don't you worry about it. And you can't have none of it. Okay. I'm just saying.
Let them know.
Right. Because you know sometimes it be seeming like people be like, don't talk about him on TV. Don't talk. Well, this the one I got to talk about. That's what I know.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. Do you think you could accept a child that resulted from an infidelity? So, I would definitely have to pray hard. And I would like to think that I'm mature enough to answer this question and say, oh, absolutely, I would accept the child. But you know what? Truth of the matter is, I don't know if I could. God would really have to work on me. Because this is the thing. After I strangled the shit out your mama and him.
You gonna strike the baby's mama?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, now you're gonna have to take care of the baby.
But, well, I mean, both of them gotta go. Him and her gotta go. I'm an equal opportunist. Because he got to go too. So, he got to go too. Bye-bye. Ever go night-night, nigga?
Ready to go night-night, nigga?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I don't know. Like, I cannot definitively say, yes, I would. I cannot. The way that I feel is that I ain't played you. I've been real with you. I've been honest with you. I've been bringing it home. And I expect the same from you.
Mm-hmm.
You played me.
Right.
You played me. And I don't know.
I could definitely say no. Because once I look at this baby on a regular, you're just a constant reminder. And I'm going to look at you as a reminder. That will be your nickname.
Reminder?
Oh, yes. So,
Come on, little reminder.
I cannot.
It's time to go to bed.
No, unequivocally, no.
What you got to say, sis?
Just listening to you, ladies.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
That's all.
She like, no. I go ahead.
I think that that's like one of the hardest things that you could ever deal with. Like Jen said, it's a constant reminder.
Exactly.
And it's just something that I think that you would have to definitely just pray your way through.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Ain't enough prayer for
Man.
me. Just so that you
The
can know.
Lord
I
couldn't
pray
get
the
you
Lord.
through
I
that one.
pray the Lord don't test me in that manner.
See,
At church, say amen.
Amen.
I could end up loving the baby, but I wouldn't want to see her. That's what would.
You can't separate.
And that's my thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but what if she died in a tragic accident, and then it was just the baby? I could only because I love babies, but like I wouldn't be able to do that co-parenting thing where, you know, it's his birthday party and we got to go to her house with her mama and her friends and her cousins, and that's a hard way to go, man. Ooh, that's a hard way to go.
Ooh, it's hot.
That's a hard way to go.
So, how important is sex in your relationship?
Extreme.
I think that sex is very important. I think that you have to have a mutual understanding about sex, though. Cause when you get the working and the kids and all that,
Yeah.
you got to almost
Changes
tell
things.
Siri to tell you it's time. You know? But that doesn't take from the,
Right.
you know, the importance of it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But I'm
Siri, he hard, sis.
You
Can't Siri down. How you you know, bitch? I'm on my way. Oh my God. Siri, a nosy motherfucker.
I'm playing with shit today. So, I mean, I think it's pretty important.
After a while, how do I put this delicately?
Don't put it delicately, Lisa.
If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I mean, it's not priority number one. I think it's like when we are at the stage where we are going to be intimate, in the beginning, I want the intimacy. The physical act itself, you know, if it happens, okay, cool. But I want to feel that connection.
Yeah.
You know, like we said, segment number one, everybody does not have a good day all the time. And it's like, okay, so if I'm giving you my 110 and you coming with this 80%, I'm gonna be mad. You know? So I'm like, okay, I'm giving you my all. Come on, dude, you gotta do something.
Because he ain't put his back into
You go
it.
upstairs with a little reminder.
Okay.
Both you motherfuckers upstairs.
Exactly.
I definitely, the older I've gotten, it's important to me because it's important to him. Sometimes I be forgetting that I ain't had it in me. What? Sometimes I do. I be going, listen, my mind, like, I'm remembering everything. I got so many different things to do. My mind is all over the place. Like, I have to be in a space where it's like, I ain't got to think about the kids. I'm not thinking about the bills. I'm not, like, when I'm having a good time, and I'm like, that's why he still be trying to get me drunk. That's so cute that he be still trying to get me drunk.
Just one more shit.
Because, you know, my mind be clear. So, you know, ballet.
Sex is the best sex.
That's what Martin said. Martin told Gina.
Well,
you
no,
know,
I want me to be drunk, and I want him to not be so drunk. Because then I feel like you just hopping on top of me. Like, I'm gonna climb on top of you and do my business. No, I don't want mess on top of me. I ain't in no bad I don't want no mess on top of me.
so many rules.
You said so many rules.
So many rules. Take your drunk ass and come on and get this.
That's why you got dressed. I'm not gonna just be snatching your ass
Let me
like.
tell you, that's why she wouldn't get braids. They ain't long. Like, okay, we did too.
These is knotless though. They gonna slippage.
So they can't be snatched.
Well, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
A little tug.
Money said. She said. She mean I can't take
She do
another.
her camera woman thing.
Oh, she said, keep going. Wait a minute. This is stuck together.
I mean, you gotta say both of them.
Ain't
Ooh, double
Okay.
trouble.
Hey,
Hey.
can you handle the
just when you think you building the bond as far as sisterhood goes, a monkey wrench in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's okay though. I still love you. All right. I'm gonna read both of them. Do you think once a cheater, always a cheater? And do you have to be physically attracted to someone to be in a relationship?
Those two went together, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, because one is about if you cheat, you'll always you can't redeem yourself from cheating. You can't change. And this one, you fuck with an ugly nigga.
Love the way she broke it down. Love the way you broke it down.
Can sis be fucked up by the fade and you still mess with Big Shirley? I just feel like I got to be able to look at you. I have to be physically attracted. So I think for me, there has to be some physical attraction. There has to be something that makes me look across the room and be like, I'm gonna tear that motherfucker down.
If you like a motherfucker enough, though, you get to look at him. You gonna find some shit.
You gonna find something?
You gonna find something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm.
So you ain't never messed with
You
nobody.
gonna-
So you ain't never messed with nobody.
You gonna be
ugly.
like, I like your ears. You
I like your ears.
You got the sexiest ears. And look at your fingernails. Oh, baby.
So you ain't never messed with nobody ugly because somebody done messed with somebody ugly.
Yeah.
Y'all listen.
Yeah. But was he ugly
to?
Was he ugly to me? Was
You
the
knew he was
question.
ugly when you first met him.
Well, I might have known he wasn't a 10, but that nigga at least had to give me 5 or 6. So I wasn't gonna be able to go. I need at least 5 or 6, but I prefer, you know what I'm saying? Because some motherfucker might look at me and be like, okay, 3.6. And that's fine, but I'm a 12 somewhere else, so it's cool.
But everybody has a type though.
Exactly,
But
right.
then
I don't
sometimes
think I have a type though.
that's what I used to think. That's what I used
That's
to
what
think.
you used to
Seriously.
think?
But I'm like, okay, so I done stepped outside of my comfort zone and out of my box. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't have a type after all.
So you did not fit, bruh.
Right.
I took your homeless ass
You know that
in.
game perfection? When you had them pegs, you gotta put that right
Yeah.
Cross that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we had a
Right.
meeting and decided
Hmm.
that this wasn't going to work.
And the next question was,
Do you think that once a cheater, always a cheater? I don't.
how do you come back from that?
I think it depends on a lot of things go with the circumstance, the situation, whatever the case may be. But I do think, because I've known a few people that have been able to redeem themselves from, like, sometimes a motherfucker just fucked up. It depends on where you are in your life, you know, where you are when you got together. A lot of times, younger relationships, you think you got time. You think you doing, oh, you know what I'm saying, these bitches on me, these niggas think I'm hot. So you out here, you taking the bait, you know what I'm saying? But then when things start to, you know, you gain a perspective on life and you become grown and you start to understand. And I just feel like if you've built a bond with somebody and you know each other and both of you are serious about the forward movement, then I think that definitely some counseling or some, whether it be, if you go to church, get it. If you need to talk to Big Mama and them, talk to Big Mama, like friends sometimes that have been through it themselves, do whatever you need to do to, like, push that through. But I think that redemption is possible for some people, not for all.
I definitely feel like you can come back from it. I definitely do. And like you said, I truly agree with it depends on where you are in your relationship. Because a lot of times, if you've been with somebody all your life, you started out young.
Right.
And nobody that's young is taking nothing serious. And I don't care who you are, you not taking it serious. You just saying that y'all together.
Right.
If you are young and taking it serious, you shouldn't.
No, you should be young and be free.
Yeah, be
Yeah.
free.
I
Live
feel
your
like
life.
you should be young. Make sure, because when you're young, you don't know what you want. You
Make
don't
mistakes,
know what you like.
Yeah.
You gonna make your go ahead. Don't nobody want to be the old hoe. Go ahead. And I ain't saying be no hoe when you young. I'm just saying experience life.
Live a little.
I'm saying experience life because you don't even know what you like. You don't know what you like.
There's
When you look,
emotion. I'm sorry.
no.
Cheating 2 ways. Emotional, I couldn't. No.
Yeah.
The physical itself, I can get over, but the emotional connection that they might have, now that would
Like, you
bother
really
me
love this
to
bitch.
no, to no end. So I don't know. I don't know.
I feel you on the emotional
Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
I think that, like, but that's also to me where communication comes in, because like you said, that emotional connection, but if you have that communication with your partner, and that's where you have to make sure that you foster open communication. Like, a lot of times I do believe, and I'm sorry sisters, a lot of times men want to say stuff, they have feelings, but because they know how you gonna act or overreact, they don't say what they want to say. They don't say what they need. They not gonna say what they feel because they don't want you tripping.
They don't have a platform.
Yeah, but
to do it.
How is it easy to have a conversation? Let's just say it was an emotional connection between the two. How can you physically and literally sit there and allow him to tell you how he feels or felt about somebody else? There is no.
I don't want him to tell me how he felt about
But you wouldn't
nobody else.
think that? You wouldn't think about it?
Yeah, no, this is
Me
what I'm
too.
saying. This is what I'm saying. If I allow him to be open
Mm-hmm.
about who he is,
Okay.
what he wants, how he feels, because there are times when people want to be open about how they feel.
Before baby wrap up, can I say though, there are some, because for the sisters and brothers out there who do provide spaces in their relationship, it's not always the partner that hasn't allowed you the space to speak. Sometimes whatever your personal issue is, you don't know how to open up. You got issues from your childhood and you feel like to tell me this will make you appear weak, and you don't want to appear weak in front of me, so you go and do. So sometimes it's that other person's shit that, you know, so the pendulum swings both ways. I think that a lot of times you got people that don't have a voice in their relationships and they are intimidated to speak, but then there are some other motherfuckers that just like, nah, nigga, you wasn't ready in the first place.
Sure.
And you was still doing what you was doing and holding on to me because you knew deep down that I was gonna hold you down.
Which is the reason why I say figure out what you want. When you young, enjoy yourself and figure yourself out up here. Because you can't be no good for nobody until you get your internal shit together. And everybody got some internal shit. I can guarantee you that.
Everybody.
And that will affect who you are within your relationship and who you are just as a person.
Right.
Fix it. We talked about counseling
Right
before.
now.
Fix it. That was a little deep, but it's needed. Just saying. In order for us to unify.
You did? You did?
One fish,
Because
two
we didn't
fish.
land on Plymouth Rock.
He said, one
Plymouth
fish,
Rock.
two fish, red fish, blue fish. Y'all, look, y'all don't even know nothing about that.
Right.
Youngins.
They're too young.
Who was on? I don't
Sis.
forget.
All right, come on. Here we go. What would you do if you wanted kids and your partner didn't? That's now, wow. What would I do? I don't. I would have to find somebody who wanted kids.
So you want to end it?
Yeah.
Really?
Because if this is something that I really want and I'm passionate about it and we talked about it and I will respect your decision. But I want what I want and you want what you want. So if there is no meeting of the minds, if you say, well, no, period, and that's your stance, then I'm adamant about having kids, even through adoption or whatever. This is me. This is what I want to do. So if I allow you to always control everything, then I might as well allow you just to say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't talk like this, you can't eat that. So no, I would have to step outside and say to myself, okay, Jen, you've sacrificed a lot for the sake of this relationship. Are you going to continue to really sacrifice on something that you have been wanting and sometimes needing in your life? So if this is what I want to do and the tears start to roll once I'm in the mirror talking to myself, then my decision is made.
But what if you never told them, like, you know how in the beginning of the relationship everybody talks about what they want, how they see themselves? What if that never came up until you got to the point where you really truly wanted kids? Then what?
I think the conversation will remain the same. It wouldn't waver. I wouldn't waver. If you tell me that there's
so you gonna make them be a daddy? You gonna make them be a daddy?
But see, then that's when the brother resent for that kid comes in.
Yeah.
I don't want you to walk around disliking your own. So in that, I'm gonna have some with somebody who even if it has to be a surrogacy or what is that, the vitro. So if I even have to do that, then let me do that. I can raise this kid. There's a lot of women that raise kids on their own and do a damn good job at it.
This is true.
So
if you're gonna do in vitro, do you have to leave your mate or do you stay still?
Well, because
they don't want
they
kids.
don't want kids.
So around period, they just
right.
They said no. It's a hard
Have
no.
y'all ever watched Queen Sugar? So it's on, I forget what it's on, but it's a good show. And that was one of the things. It was a really good relationship that was filling each other. You know, if you were to watch this show, you're rooting for them to be together. And they were good together. And you remember Robert? She's in love with Robert from Cosby Show. He was the guy in the show. And the sister, I don't know her name, but he had lost his wife or whatever. And they're building this bond together. And they was loving it all. And they were getting ready to have sex for the first time. And he stopped and was like, wait a minute. Because, you know, some conversations we didn't have. And I want to have these conversations. She's like, nigga, I'm ready to take it down. What's the problem? And he was like, because I don't want to do this if we aren't on the same page. So ultimately, he wanted children. And she was like, I got a son. It's 15. I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's over. And he made that decision. He was like, I really want to be with you, but I cannot see me not having children. So as much as I love you, I got to let you go. Like, that's something like if you really feel, because I could never not be a mother. If I didn't have children right now at 40, whoever I'm talking to, bro, I'm trying to try until I can't. You know what I'm saying? And if he weren't open to that, then, you know, and even now, I'm cool to have another one more. I would be.
What's your cutoff age?
I told you earlier, I was 21. I don't like how Monty be laughing when I say stuff. No, but I mean, like, if I'm healthy enough, like, I love children. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be opposed to having one more with somebody, and I would be fine with him being open with that. But if it was an absolute dead set, hell no, bitch can't do it, then I'd have to think about it.
God bless your ministry, because I am for it, and I ain't trying to have a nothing. No, sir. But the good thing about it is he don't want one more either. And I'm losing weight. I ain't trying to get back my body. I done already traded the other one in. Okay. I'm working on something.
Good, girl.
I'm working on something. And while we working, y'all know what time it is. We about to bring it. We about to break it up a little bit. This one been serious today, but I think it's been some serious talk that's been needed. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do?
Ready.
Who is ready for this? You said you was ready?
I was ready.
Y'all know what time it is, Monty. Come on with the 60 seconds. Come on with the 60 seconds. And no, I'm not looking at it, y'all. I'm just trying to keep on. We got 60 seconds. She been working, y'all. I bet you she been practicing.
60 seconds on the clock.
60 seconds on the clock. And what do we have? A straw. You want me to get your straw ready for you,
do that to sis.
No, you ready? I'm ready.
She said 60 seconds.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so straws are plastic. You have the long straws. You have the martini straw. Martinis don't have straws. But anyway, did y'all actually see the fight when the young man reached across the counter from the young lady? Because, you know, it's illegal to have them straws on the counter now. Yes. So you can't have straws.
Don't help her with her 60 seconds.
See, you messing up. So it's illegal to have straws on the counter. So this young man, white guy, reached across the counter because the girl was adamant about, no, we don't have the straws, blah, 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 blah. So you sip it out this straw. I'm going from one subject to another because I'm still on the straw thing, right? So, like I was saying, you sip out of a straw. You can even use straw to make a hairdo. I forgot what it's called, but it's a straw. Yeah.
That memo 60 seconds. Don't laugh through your whole 60. Come on now.
Shit.
You're lost. You're lost. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
Y'all didn't see the camera on the back there, like.
Because I got you covered, sis. I got you covered, sis.
Damn.
You still didn't make it again. You didn't make it. You didn't make
What
it.
y'all don't understand is Tanya's whole point and purpose is to make motherfuckers drink.
Because I likes having a good time. Book me for parties.
Lord.
I'm available. Book me. I'm not
That's
asking.
so
the only
serious.
shit that put me on my ass.
Oh,
Well, you know what, sis?
It's
what
Friday
you
night,
start
Queen.
doing is bringing your gin that you want. I keep it right here.
I don't like her sometimes.
Nah, I ain't gonna drink it with you, but I keep it right here. Girl, do it take that
I'm
long?
gonna have more hair on my chest and on my head.
She got that ain't her drink.
Girl, she had worse things in her mouth than that.
Oh, did she do it?
She played me last 2 weeks.
Up.
What's that?
Man.
I'm just saying, you played me last week. You did too, sis. Next. Next.
She's like, I'm not
Ashley.
Hot dog.
Hot dog. Mighty, you supposed to be had
60 seconds on the clock.
60 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
Hot dog buns, beef hot dogs, turkey hot dogs. If I just talk like that about hot dogs, it's gonna be a foot long hot dog. You can get a hot dog from Sonic. You can get a hot dog from
Stop trying to stretch out your words.
Beyonce's Barbecue Grill. You can get a hot dog from Checkers. You can get a hot dog from Oscar Mayer hot dog. Have you ever seen a hot dog truck? You know that they put over the hot dog truck. Did you see that? My kids like hot dogs. The kids asked for hot dogs and pork and beans this week. I want cheese with my hot dogs. Have you ever had a fried hot dog? Do you know that you can cut hot dogs up and eat them for sausages in the morning? Have you ever had hot dogs and pancakes? Have you ever had jelly on your hot dog? Have you ever had applesauce on your hot dogs? Have you ever
You
had...
did it. You did it.
Somebody has successfully cheated. She wasn't trying to shake no drink. She wasn't trying to shake no drink. She cheated.
That's a sober moment.
She gonna cheat because she won.
cheated.
Look, that's a sober moment. Yeah.
So now this brings me to a new segment, y'all.
Okay.
It's almost over.
It's almost over, and this segment is called Ask Tanya. So it is where people have inboxed me or texted me. So I have a question that somebody wanted to bring to the floor. And if you have a question that you want to bring for a segment of Ask Tanya, inbox me or text me if you have the info. All right. And so the first question. Emma. So the first question is, what does one need to do or change to get back on their feet? Now, I am not an expert, but what I say is the first thing that you need to do is decide that you want to make that change. Decide what you want to do, and then you have to put forth effort to do it. Now, change is uncomfortable. And sometimes when you are so far gone, or you feel that you are so far gone, it is hard to say, okay, I'm about to start over. But if you know that your life is not going the way that you want it to go, then you got to start praying, you got to start fasting, and you got to start working. Work towards what it is that you want to do. Vision it. People do vision boards all the time. You know, you got to picture it, you got to say it, and you got to do it. Keep speaking it. Talk to yourself. If you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I am tired, and this is what I want to do. Start to put it in your mind, put it in your head that you are going to make a change. It starts here, that you are going to make a change.
Right.
And that is my word. But before we leave, y'all know that it is February, y'all.
That it is.
You see the whole little shebang. Yes. So what we gonna do? We gonna close. We got to close it out with some inspiration for us. And I don't just support my people in February. I am always pro us. Not that I hate anybody else, but I am always pro us, and I support my people. And before we get up out of here, I'm gonna turn it over to my girl. Come on, baby.
But the
Give
way
us
she
something.
pointed like that, it ain't that kind of turnover. No, listen, like Sis said, it's February and we black 24/7, 367. So John Heinrich Clark, powerful brother, is JOHNHENRIK Clark. Look him up. He's got a lot of, powerful things that he's put lectures out on YouTube and different things like that. But I think that one of the things that we really have to do is educate ourselves and open ourselves up to different commentary. So one of the things he said was that powerful people cannot afford to educate the people they oppress. Because once you're truly educated, you won't ask for power, you'll take it. So that's really important for all of us in this day and age, and especially tying into, like, look at how the universe works. That question, if you're trying to change something, what do you change? Your mindset absolutely is it. We are in a space in this world, it's difficult. We were talking about it before we started rolling, and being black women, it's a double whammy, being a black man. Like, we go through a significant amount of stuff, and I think over this past decade it's been so blatant, and a lot of people are coming to grips with what we actually face. And the thing is, it's not going to be handed to us. And I'm not in any way saying let's go out and act a fool. What I'm saying is, let's educate ourselves on the best way to empower ourselves. If that means that we have to start collaborating differently, if I have a business idea, like, we are so creative, you know what I mean? There's nothing that we have not created. Talking about the super soakers, you're talking about cell phones, you're talking about surveillance cameras. All of these things were created by people that look like us, you know what I mean? And so we're kind of, one of the terms that they use, and I don't want to be controversial, but I'm black, so I can say the word, nigger rigging. We've been nigger rigging shit for years, but all that really means is we've been creating since day one. And so all of that stuff you sitting on your couch and you thinking about, and you saying, I want to do this, but I can't do that. That's what you got to change. Stop saying what you can't do. Start saying that you can do, and start talking to people around you. Start talking to your brothers and sisters, because what you don't understand is they're in the same position that you're in, doubting themselves. And what you need is a support system. So when Brother Clark is saying you can't wait for somebody else to educate, you can't wait for somebody else to give you the information, you got to go out there and get it and put it to good use. All power to the people.
So
That's
y'all listen. Hope y'all got something from tonight. We've been speaking on some good shit. Inbox me if you have any questions. Inbox me if you have a business that you would like to feature
Please.
on our show. Bring it in, because we always want to support our people. If you feel that you want to come on this show,
Come on.
inbox me. You let me know,
We're going
because
to check
we
you out.
we gonna, oh yeah, oh we gonna have a meet and greet now.
We gonna
Don't just
check
think
you
you
out.
can come on the show. We gonna have a meet and greet. But baby, when I tell you that we working over here,
Yes.
when I tell you that we
Yes,
working
yes.
on something, and we are building,
Yes.
we
ma'am.
are building, and this is where it starts. We starting from
Right.
ground zero.
Exactly.
But baby,
Yes.
it's gonna pop. And y'all see us in 2 weeks, y'all. In 2 weeks. 2 weeks, baby.
All right.